Nothing has broken me like this has. Chris Turino.
I ain't no candle in the wind. Lana Del Rey.
What does the word increase mean? Clara, back home.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Chris Turino, and I'm a sixth form boarder from New York, New York, and I am this year's president of the John Hay Society. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. Members of the John Hay Society are those you see standing next to the entrances of pews as you walk into the chapel. We are Westminster's oldest student organization, and we carry on our school's timeless tradition of chapel services by helping Mrs. Stevens maintain the space, organize the chapel's speaker schedule, and hold offertories for a variety of charitable causes. Chapel is a beloved opportunity for our entire community to gather and listen to students, faculty, and guest speakers discuss topics of significant importance to them. From Mimi Connolly's class of 2015 chapel talk on how an eating disorder consumed her life as a young adult, to Isabel Niles's class of 2018 talk about losing her father to cancer during her fifth formative year, to Emma DeCanter's class of 2019 talk about leaving Westy after growing up here, I've never entered this chapel not excited to hear a speaker. This place is truly one of the safest and most inviting spaces on campus, and it is near and dear to my heart. Truth be told, however, I never really expected to be standing at this podium before all of you, nor did I ever expect to introduce myself as president of John Hay. The first time I sat down in this chapel was nearly 4 years ago, on my revisit day. My shy, timid self refused to move a muscle, staying frozen as an ice cube, and I don't even recall anything I heard or saw in here on that day. I was spooked by how seemingly formal everything was in this space. The way kids sat with their backs completely upright, with their hands folded neatly in their laps, their eyes unwavering from the podium, which I now stand at. I have one distinct memory from that day, though. I told myself that I would never be able to give a chapel talk. I would never have the confidence. I would never have the ability. I could never hold anybody's attention. It's been a long time coming, but I feel as though I've successfully conquered a large part of my bashfulness. Giving this talk to you today is a huge step for me in becoming more comfortable with who I am and putting myself out there, because it hasn't always been easy. I frequently remember just how anxious I was coming to Westy my third form year. The entire week before school, I confined myself to my bed and stared at the ceiling of my room, desperately trying to reassure myself that this massive lifestyle change I was making was going to turn out for the best. I had been to sleepaway camp before, and I had my close circle of friends from home, but I didn't know if I would regret my decision to branch out and explore a seemingly unknown realm out of fear that I wouldn't make friends or I would miss home too much. The drive to school on orientation day was an emotionally tumultuous drive. I contemplated several different options inside my head, such as opening my car door and running away from my parents, falling into such a deep sleep that my parents wouldn't be able to wake me up when we got to campus, or hoping that Westy would shut down for the day due to a bear attack. As we drove up the hill that day, I fully cried. A lot. It was not until we got to the Armour parking lot that my puny little self buckled down, wiped my tears away, and stridently walked into the atrium. I realized then that if I were to ever excel in this environment, I would have to carry myself with confidence, kindness, and respect towards others. I realized then that the experience I would have here for the next 4 years would be whatever I was going to make out of it. And so, I ran with that mentality, and here we are now. Truth be told, I am incredibly proud of how far I've come. This school has never been easy on me, and I still find that I push myself as hard as I can, both academically and socially, in order to satisfy the promise I made to myself in my first day here, that I was going to succeed no matter what. Being a student at Westy is far from a cakewalk, and I think most of you know that, or are beginning to learn that at the onset of your time here. I've had my fair share of blunders here, as many do. Accidentally smashing a glass bottle in the atrium, setting a panini press on fire, mistakenly clapping during a chapel talk in dead silence, and far more that I can't even recall. I look back on these mistakes, however, and I can't stop laughing. This community is one that will laugh alongside you when you're embarrassed and uplift you. We want you to be able to make fun of yourself here, but still feel supported and like there's room for you to grow. Because if there's anything I'm certain about when it comes to my experience here, it's that I'm leaving a changed person. Someone who isn't afraid to speak up and express themselves in class, in social situations, or extracurricularly. If you had told me 3 years ago, when I was a third former, still coming out of my shell, that I would eventually have the courage and determination to want to be a role model for others on this campus, I think I would have laughed in your face. To be in a position that I once could have only dreamed of is incredibly humbling, and I am eternally grateful to the people at this school who have urged me to step outside my comfort zone and push myself to learn and develop. Without the guidance of countless peers, faculty members, and of course family, I wouldn't have the confidence to even address you today. So I thank you all, and I dedicate this talk to the people who have supported me throughout my time here at Westy. Thank you.